The day has come, we're sitting in front of our questions, and the timer has started. We're now officially taking our exam. What do we do? In this video, we're going to cover the tips and the strategies so you understand exactly how you should go through your exam in order to maximize your chances of passing. We've got 8 different tips here for you. The first tip is to ease exam anxiety and check in with yourself frequently. While it's true many different exams don't allow you to take breaks where you just get up and start walking around the room and go grab a drink of water or go use the restroom, you can take a mini break whenever you want. So the timer's going, there's no rule that says you have to always be answering questions or thinking. If you start getting overwhelmed, stop where you're at, don't touch anything, and go ahead and just look away from your screen slightly, not too much, because sometimes proctors will flag you, but you can look away from your screen or maybe just look right above your screen at your webcam and just let your mind reset for 5 or 10 or 15 or even 20 seconds. This is a great way to ease your exam anxiety. And during that time, you can just breathe. Just let yourself be, breathe slowly, slow things down. And I can guarantee that's going to bring you back a little bit and it's going to reduce your anxiety when you're feeling overwhelmed. The second tip is time management. Before you take your exam, you should research how long the actual exam time limit is. For example, if you have a 60 question exam that takes 120 minutes or 2 hours, we know that 120 minutes divided by 60 questions, your time divided by question count, equals the amount of time that you have on each question. So if I have 120 minutes to complete 60 questions, I have 2 minutes per question. Before you actually take your exam, you can do that research, do that math, and figure out how much time you have per question in order to best manage your time. Additionally, I recommend checking the time every 15 to 20 minutes just to see how you're progressing. Now, in a shorter exam that's only an hour, you might only check your time 3 or 4 times per hour, maybe at the different 15-minute intervals. For your longer exams, same thing. You're going to want to try and check your time around 4 times per hour. That's usually the sweet spot. That way, you're not overly worrying about exam time. Additionally, the third tip is to make sure that you read questions carefully. So read the questions that you get. Don't just skim through them. Don't just pick out one word and focus on just that one word. Read through them. And from there, if you need to, you can read it again and then focus on different areas. Additionally, many exams have different types of like highlighting tools where they'll let you use like an on-screen highlighter where you can highlight different terms and things like that. And that'll help you understand what specifically the question is asking about. Because oftentimes you'll get trick questions on many exams where you'll get questions that are very, very broad that have 2 very, very similar answers. So just be careful, make sure you fully read all questions. The fourth tip here is to make sure that you eliminate obvious wrong answers. Once you've read a question, you're sitting down, you're thinking about it, just immediately eliminate the obvious wrong answers. Usually there's 1 or 2 obviously wrong answers, and there might be 2 or 3 potentially good answers. The fifth tip is to make sure that you flag questions you're unsure of or that are taking you too long. So for example, if I'm working on a question and I've noticed I've been stuck on this question for a minute and a half and I still don't understand the question, or I don't really understand the question at all immediately, I might just flag that one with the on-screen software for your proctor or whatever test you're taking, and I would just move on to the next question if it's possible. Now, some exams, these are very few, but some exams do not let you continue on to the next question until you completed the current question. So if you're able to flag questions, definitely make use of that feature on your exam software. The sixth tip is to make sure you trust your gut or trust your stomach or first instinct. Many times when we choose a first answer or we have a feeling for sure that this is the answer, usually we're right. Usually you should stick with your first answer and not change your answer unless you have enough proof to warrant actually changing the answer. So if you're in doubt, you've got 2 answers, you're debating and you're thinking and you can't really figure it out, trust the one that came to you first that you think is the most likely answer, or that you first thought was the most likely answer, unless there's new things that you read, or again, maybe you read the question in a different way, maybe you got more context, whatever it is, but usually your first answer is your correct answer if you have all of the proper context. The seventh tip here is to use the review screen when possible. When you finish your exam and you're about to submit it, most proctors or most testing software will give you a review screen. That way you can see all of your questions, question 1 through however many you answered, and then you can go back to your flagged questions, you can review your unanswered questions, and you can use the entire rest of the time for your exam once you've finished in order to go through and make sure that everything is right. Usually I'll just do a review of the questions that I've flagged, and I'll make sure that I've answered obviously all questions. Don't ever leave any questions unanswered. If you're gonna submit your exam, you might as well try and select some answer. At least you have a 25% chance, but make sure that you use that review screen if it is possible at all. The eighth and the final tip is picking the best answer. Many times exams will give us 2 or 3 really good answers, but A lot of the time, what these exams are looking for is they're looking for us to select the best and most correct answer. So if you got 2 or 3 answers that are good, select the one that defines the question or answers the question. So if you've got 2 or 3 answers that are good, select the answer that is the most strong answer to that specific question. So whatever the answer is for that specific question, that's what you should use as your final answer. And again, these are 8 exam taking strategies and tips that you can use right away and all throughout your exam when it comes to test day. In the next video, we're going to look at common exam mistakes that you should be aware of to avoid when you're taking your exam.